Welcome back to another episode of It's All Been Tracked Before. This time, look closely. It's in the wink of an eye. You may be just like us. You may end up liking this even more than you thought you were going to. Speaking of things you might like even more than you thought you were going to, let's stay in a sci-fi genre. Love's Lust Lost. Yes, it's the novel version of Universe Journey, one of your favorites from the It's All Been Done radio hour. Captain Richard Dick Kakay is the captain of the ISS 50. He seems confident, but is he really? Love's Lust Lost is a spin-off novel of the It's All Been Done radio hour program. Universe Journey shows us through his early days, rising up through the ranks and all the way, and flirting with the only woman he ever truly loved, Grace Thomas. Read it. Gives you a lot of background story for Universe Journey. One of our favorites of, well, it's coming up this Saturday. What? It's All Been Done radio hour. It's back. September. Universe Journey, gonna be part of it? Yeah, it's back too, so get some more background on that. Come check out Universe Journey. And the entire It's All Been Done radio hour, you know it. It's a serialized radio hour like the old radio hours with a modern twist. And it's at Mad Lab Live, 5:30 this Saturday, September 8th. Tickets on sale, madlab.net. While you're in the generous online giving mood, go to IABD, go to patreon.com/IABD. Support us there. Keep things going like It's All Been Tracked. We got a long way to go. They're just putting out more and more Trek content. So sustain us, keep us going. Patreon.com/IABD. And hey, we're going to have a lot more fun just like we did with this one. It's the latest episode of It's All Been Tracked. Wink of an eye.
Welcome out to another episode of It's All Been Tracked Before. We are here to discuss the best episode of Season 3, nay, the best episode of the series. Wink of an eye. Well, first we should say who's here.
This is Steven.
And Keith.
Jimmy-Jerome.
And Marianne.
Yay! Now, first tell me why you love this episode so much.
Hated it. Number 6.
For time.
Yeah,
Going
it's
so fast.
Maybe you can add stuff from last week into this one.
Yeah, this episode's only going to be 6 minutes long, accelerated. You're right.
Well, it's going to be 6 minutes unless it's just going to sound like a buzz. You got to slow it down to hear it.
Fashion is the only thing I liked about it.
Let's do fashion first then.
Fashion.
So we start out with a guy with a choker.
With a choker.
And
heavy makeup. That makeup was caked on.
And collarbones for days.
Well, there was like
he looked fabulous.
A horizontal trim at the top.
Yeah.
With just bare shoulders, it seemed like.
That's how they do it on Scalosia.
And I was like...
You're talking about Rael, played by Jason Evers?
Yes. But then they didn't... They put the woman in like a full-necked, one-pant, bare leg.
She's the queen.
And
I love her.
Yeah, the other woman
And
wasn't
the
dressed
slit-
that scantily.
The slit went... her slit did go up. Yeah, no, it was the same.
I thought
it was
she was
green, but not blue.
Like, hers kind of cut across the top, though. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't...
Look at diagonal.
I thought she was still showing a lot of skin.
Yeah, because I noticed hers went up to... Because the leg slit, even there was no pant on the one side, went all the way up to her, like, underarm. Almost.
I like both her outfits.
Yeah, it was pretty
I thought as far as fashion, yes. Function, I don't know. Seemed to work for him.
Function, I don't think it would be good, but
if you
look at it at the right angles, it's almost like she's naked.
But we're at such a slow level.
You would think the wind drag would be.
Would there be a butthole that's hanging out, though? I mean, wouldn't there always be one butthole hanging out?
A butt cheek.
Butt cheek.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
No, I'm not.
A buttock.
I mean, like, fashion-wise, it just seems like you wouldn't want that.
On Scalos, they don't frown on that.
Who wouldn't want that? I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you.
Why don't you dress like that for a bit, Keith, and then see what you think?
The choker.
I was gonna say that one. Not only the choker, they had the matching command brooches.
Yes, and the brooches.
Well, they were like a device, so they had different buttons on them.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Looks like a brooch.
I liked the costumes in this one.
I did too.
I did
too.
The guy's was kind of plain, and with the choker, I almost wanted a flower in his hair.
I thought theirs were weird enough for the guys to be like, okay, that's a different planet.
Right, but hers was just hot.
So the community...
In going with the series, for me, it's one of the ones I like a lot.
Yeah.
The brooch looked like a mistletoe or some kind of berry?
It was like
it's like a star.
Like starburst.
With a different color on each ten.
Yeah.
Like
only some of them had buttons. Some of them were different.
One were just plain metal. Others there's a pink and a blue and a yellow.
But like had the same pattern on each person.
Mm-hmm. And so they could push like,
right.
we need to talk to this person.
That technology had apparently been adapted to the speed.
It looked like the plastic piece of a toy that you would be missing, and that would be the key piece.
Yeah.
She put it together. Mm-hmm. You might either you'd be missing it, or somebody would step on it and it would be broken.
Yeah,
So
it looked like it would just fall off like all the time off of that choker.
If Kathy Brown, Dila, came to me and said, I'm kidnapping you, you're gonna mate with me and be the king of my society, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, while we're on the few things we like about this episode.
Dila. Kathy Brown is Dila.
She's a I don't think she's with us anymore, right?
She's nothing.
Yeah.
No, she died in 2003 at age
Yeah,
72.
but she's gorgeous. I mean, and I actually like her character. I mean, she's
38 in this, which
Yeah.
I would not have pegged. I would have thought she was
I guess
younger.
So, yeah.
Yeah, she's almost 40.
And
I could see it actually.
Like Marianne's a modern day Kathy Brown.
yeah,
You're just giving me modern day whatever. actress
modern
is
day
in it.
whatever
Like,
this is.
she's not. The Scolesians aren't necessarily evil. They have a plan or whatever and stuff they want to do, and she's just like, I got to repopulate my people, and I choose you, which is it's got to be very flattering.
Yeah, especially when the girl's that attractive.
Oh, she's beautiful, and she
So
kisses
they
him right
said
away.
so
which is,
many things, like the women are sterile and the women can't have children anymore, and the
Listen,
men
I
are
thought the men
sterile.
were sterile.
Yes.
And the men were sterile.
Right.
But I'm like, well, how is bringing someone back in if you still can't? I mean, it's just for sex.
Well, I
Yeah,
think they
that's fine.
said she didn't have children because the men,
The men were
sterile.
sterile. Yeah.
Okay.
Not that there was anything wrong with the women.
'Cause I think-
And worst case, if turns out the women can't, you need to do the scientific method.
You need to try it.
You need to test it.
Try
The sperm
again.
just don't speed up like the rest of the
Dila
body.
is down for it. She is down. I'm not gonna.
Down,
She's
down.
DTF. We can say that, right?
Yeah,
Edit that out.
No, you can say DTF.
Oh,
Just
okay,
can't say
all
what it stands for.
Right,
Down to get freaky.
there you go. Now you got
The
it.
Federation.
Let's
Yeah,
TTG,
but she very
Down
much.
to Federation.
Yeah.
She was down to get amorous. Yeah, she was ready to go. And
Although they talked about how humans and other species burn out very quickly.
I did wonder about.
So does that
how
mean they
it
only
worked.
they didn't make it
They're half
very
human.
clear? They didn't make it very clear. No, they're not human at all. They're some other species.
But
The
if they're mating, they would have a hybrid.
they
and
would.
The hybrid would.
The hybrid.
Burn
that's
out
a good
quicker.
question.
Yeah, okay, so that's one of many problems with the science.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking here was, okay, so does Kirk only last like a week, and then the stress of the speed on his body destroys him? Like
Yeah,
that
they
wasn't
didn't really.
clear.
They didn't really give a time frame.
But they talked
Definitely.
about burnout.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna keep living and you're gonna
I
die.
hope he's stubborn so he lasts longer, is what
Right.
she said at one point.
Right, but that didn't end up really being a plot point.
Well, and they
No.
got into if the cells got hurt, that it could kill you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that could happen during
Okay,
sex.
but
Right.
Also, how
I mean,
is
it's
time-
happened to me. Yeah.
so that
Is this?
one,
Are we at that
one
part of the episode?
cut of the cells getting hurt.
Yeah.
That guy suddenly ages rapidly and dies, but the whole time we can still see him laying there, and I'm like, so does the cut accelerate the time even more than when did he disappear and then just die off screen? What exactly does
Yeah,
do?
it would have been nice if they just kept cutting back and he's a skeleton. There's just bones.
Well, a couple of questions.
Yeah.
What does
there.
Bones have to do with it? He was in sick bay.
Ah.
First of all,
For you, Keith.
how are they measuring time? And-
Not at all.
And also, well, I mean, what is a week to them? Do they mean like a week? in
Well, it
Earth
depends.
time?
If you're in sick bay or on the bridge, apparently a week is like a day. But if you're in the transport with Scotty, apparently a week's
Stuck
like
there
6
forever.
months.
Yeah.
They were very, very inconsistent with the time.
Yeah.
And whether, like, Scotty and Spock were still moving slowly on the bridge while your hero was frozen staring at the
Right.
chair.
Right.
Well, she didn't have much to do.
And then
Well, she wouldn't be
Scotty,
swiveling a lot.
and then in sickbay, things were happening that like Spock went down to sickbay,
Right.
McCoy cured things,
Right.
talking to Chapel, and Scotty's still in that one spot in
Yeah.
transport room. He has to move.
Yeah.
So
That was a little off.
no, the whole thing didn't make sense. They didn't try for any consistency in what they were doing.
Well, also, would the body of the crewman be found by
Yes.
the rest of the? Did they find them?
No, but it should have been
No,
found.
because
Dead
apparently
body.
the body was still accelerated, but
Yeah.
even though
Right.
it aged super accelerated, it stayed regular accelerated for vision purposes.
But at
But
some point, it would slow down, right?
You would
No,
think.
I mean, even if I'm going really fast
Yeah.
and I stop and I'm going fast,
Yeah.
eventually I'll be able to see. You will
Yes.
be able to see me because I've stopped for
that was
long enough.
That was one of my questions. Is they should be
Oh, that's a
visible
good
while
point.
they're standing
Well,
still, not doing
I
anything.
wrote down essentially everyone's the Flash.
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
But he can stop.
yeah.
He can just like, hi, I'm the Flash.
I don't have to
Bye.
keep going.
And also, I put down, like, I thought of it when during the fight, where Kirk was holding up the chair. Because when he walked in, shouldn't they see like a chair being held up in front of him?
Right.
Like, maybe
Yeah.
nothing, or
And that
is he
chair hangs
vibrating?
in the air for like.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, and again, people, lock your doors. Lock your doors on the Enterprise.
Well, they're the locks are too slow to work. So.
Is that what?
Yeah.
So these are your
The
accelerated.
phasers don't work with acceleration, but the transporter does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have to stand there for a long time for a transporter to pick them up and take them down.
You would think like, oh god, this feels weird.
No, it
hurts,
shouldn't.
like,
It should just not work.
Yeah.
Or not work, yeah.
Well, because the
For
phasers.
them, it would seem like weeks for them waiting for the transporter to work.
Yeah, they'd be saying.
Yeah, they'd have to stand there forever. For us, it'd be like, huh.
Well, wait. If
Okay.
they're doing the controls, though, it's a lot faster.
Yeah, but the controls aren't able to.
But the actual.
able to keep up with it.
Yeah.
You would think. Oh, there's a lot of things that just.
And apparently, fast time is tilted.
That's how you knew
Yeah.
they were going into it.
I mean, okay, so that's one thing I'll actually like. Okay, it's nice the director came some
Yeah.
way to think of it.
Yeah.
And I liked even when it tilted back in sickbay when Spock disappeared. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the whole thing just felt odd to me. And I'm like, how did they get that whole set tilted? Like,
Yeah.
did they build up the one side of the set? No.
It's like on Batman. They got it from the Batman folks.
Yeah.
Whenever you went to the evil
Obviously,
lair.
they
Yeah.
tilt the camera,
Yeah.
but it's still just I don't know.
One thing that bothered me, going back to that fight, is just the guy drops that phaser or whatever he's using, the hypo.
Yeah,
and
whatever
just-
they're-
they just leave it there on the floor. Kirk just put the chair right
Sure.
back over it.
Sure.
And just don't need it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Kirk, pick that up.
You would think.
Yeah.
Or so shouldn't somebody find that too? Or something. It's like
Yeah.
if they set an object down,
Yeah.
should that have been vibrating?
Yes.
It would have been more interesting to see more of the other side.
Yeah.
Or whatever. The people that weren't accelerated, I guess.
Well, yeah, but shouldn't they have only like existed for 3 minutes in the episode, if that?
Right.
And Kirk existed for like weeks.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. Wait. How long was supposed to have passed with their interaction with Kirk and the other? Were they saying that was a day or 7 days or what was?
They didn't say.
All
they,
right.
they
Yeah.
didn't cover time, which is the,
Yeah.
which
That
is
was
the
makes
hard
it tough.
part
Yeah.
to figure out.
I mean, we should have had a montage where Kirk was in his quarters having sex with her like over many days.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of times.
So we just watched the hands in the clock move or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What annoyed me was at the beginning when I think it was someone says, "Pause the recording."
Uh-huh.
Oh, and slowed down the deep voice real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It
like,
didn't pause immediately. It was like a VCR, only worse. I
why
noted
would-
that too.
why wouldn't
Yeah.
it just stop?
Right.
I mean,
No, I noted that too.
I don't. Why this one time did that happen? I mean, it should just be like, boop.
They thought everything was going to still be like a reel-to-reel recorder,
Back-
and it would take a
back
couple
in.
seconds to stop.
Oh my god.
Well, that and also the slow down the deep voice before stop. Yeah, I wrote that down. And then Spock figured it out really easily. Of course, like, oh, they must be going fast. But I get why. I guess if somebody was talking, you'd hear like the little insect buzz, but it wouldn't be constant. And it wasn't constant in real life.
Did he-
It was just here and there. But in the accelerated time, it was constant. So why was there a constant
It
buzz?
shouldn't
in
be.
the
It's
accelerated
like
time?
someone's moving faster than you. And,
Right.
Yeah, and that.
Did Spock figure it out before or after?
That was the guy aging and dying, apparently.
Was that after the Kirk message though?
Yes. No.
He
No,
already-
it was before.
he already
It was at
figured
the same time.
Just
McCoy
before,
found the Kirk
yeah.
message.
Oh, okay.
Right, as Spock was like, because McCoy was like, "Hey Spock, I got this wine." Spock's
Oh.
like, "Don't worry, bring it to me."
Gotcha.
Which again would have taken a week of Kirk's time for him to bring it up there.
Well, and we all talked about why didn't Kirk just write down, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pen,
Well, I'll say my
He could have wrote a
argument for that
novel
was-
on it.
My argument for that was I don't think we've seen pens and pencils on the Enterprise.
True.
We're using the styluses, and if the pads can keep up with the movement of the stylus, I can
Well,
see how that would.
Oh,
He could have beamed down to the planet, chopped down a tree, sharpened it.
Oh, they wouldn't.
Or
have agreed.
like in beginning of Discovery when they walk through the sand and make a pattern that looks like the insignia.
He could have made his own pencil, made his own paper,
Oh.
yeah.
at the accelerated rate, and
And still
yeah.
have only been 5 minutes for the Enterprise.
He could have peed a message out faster. I mean, I'm just trying to think of some way.
He's
he could
having a
have
lot
done-
of sex. He could have
Yeah, he could have
used
just as
orgasmic juice.
He could have used the ashes of Compton. and
Yeah,
spelled it out that
way.
Did it seem to anybody else, like at the very beginning of the episode when the away team came down, that everybody was shouting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost like they were
awkward.
trying to talk over the buzz, if
Yeah.
there was a buzz, but there wasn't usually a buzz.
Huh.
Yeah, it seemed very like when they were giving their talks.
Report,
It seemed
yeah.
very loud, very not loud, but
It seemed like they were yelling
clunky.
over something.
yeah.
I don't know. And then we saw the red shirt wiping his lips, which
Yes.
this is where the original phrase "he drank the water" comes from. Then,
So yeah, and it's also don't drink the water. You know, if you go to another country, they tell you don't drink the water. If you go to another planet that's never been explored, you don't drink the water.
Yeah.
Even if you know it's water or not, you don't even know if it's water.
Yeah.
so what was Sulu
Ocean
drinking
water.
when he started wiping his lips the same way the red shirt guy did, but Sulu never disappeared?
Sulu was on space bennies or space amphetamines. That's what he was doing.
I thought it was very strange that they kept the takes with Sulu doing that. I thought.
Yeah, I did
It was
too.
like, whoa,
It definitely felt like something,
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
But
Or maybe Sulu, it's just power of suggestive. He kept watching the extra do
Yeah.
it, so.
one of the other things I noticed was, as I have to mention again, because the way that Stephen would point this out would be the extra in the back, and the actor doing business, the red shirt.
Yeah,
whatever.
Compton.
It just looked strange that he was like washing his hands and then putting it on his mouth.
Well, I mean, we all bumped that. We had to
Which is
rewind and
weird.
watch it again. Like, it was very obvious.
Yeah.
It's like,
So-
what is he doing?
So then he was also counting the test tubes to pass the time until he disappeared. So it all looked just accidental, like this is a guy making strange choices,
Yeah.
and then it's somehow.
And what about Coffee Girl, which I thought of all on my own? The recording totally didn't stop. We didn't lose Marianne talking about Coffee Girl.
That was such a weird. I've never seen someone whining around with paper coffee cups.
It wasn't even a
There's
joke.
been a couple
Season
coffee
one, I think they used to
instances,
do
yeah,
that.
early on. But yeah,
Yeah, but
she had a whole tray.
But Kirk's like thing that he was laughing, that cracked
Oh, yeah.
himself up on, was not a joke.
Yeah.
No.
Like, it was just, oh, is that coffee or is
Hey,
it malfunctioning?
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that,
what does that even?
was the machine malfunctioning or is that coffee?
They should've just had-
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah.
should just had a look at him like, what do you mean?
So, my alternate episode was a lieutenant. He's been on the bridge all night. He's getting tired. The yeoman's like, hey, dude, I understand. I'm going to get you some coffee. And she brings up the coffee, and Kirk grabs his, and then Spock and Sulu and her all grab on. And then the guy's like, reaching for the coffee, and the tray's empty.
Gone.
It's gone. Because the senior officers could overrule all the junior officers for the coffee run.
Speaking of those junior officers again, notice that Chekhov wasn't there, and I thought. But first thing,
He hasn't been the last
Yeah,
couple
he was,
episodes.
yeah.
first thing I thought was, well, they had like the young-looking red shirt guy on the planet to replace the
Yeah.
Chekhov.
And he fell in love. Compton fell in love. Mm-hmm. You know, I met a girl. He actually said that, I think.
Well, no, I feel like, I mean, obviously we don't have enough time we don't know how the time works, but it felt like there could have been enough time for him to meet, have like a bunch of dates.
Yeah,
and fall in
absolutely.
love.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been together 3 months already. We moved in.
Yeah.
So that would be speed dating.
Yeah.
So when Kirk was trying to figure stuff out while he was recording, the woman Dila was looking at him. She kept. It was like he was a young child and he was figuring stuff out for the first time, because she kept looking at him like, and that means you can do it.
So, they heard Kirk's comment apparently comparing them to insects.
Yeah.
Because when Kirk speeds up, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you called us insects, it wasn't flattering. But Kirk and them don't ever hear anybody else's comment. So did you have to stand there for like 10 minutes just to hear that one sentence? And that would have been an awful web extra where it's just that one sentence.
Well, doesn't she say, got that term from you?
Yes.
But is insects a universal term, I guess?
Must be.
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I was like, why are they still using
Pests is
is insects?
Pests.
Yeah, it seems like it should be.
spiders. I don't know.
I don't know
So-
what makes an insect versus.
I made a comment about her kiss when she just like,
When
just
you-
like all the kisses.
right away?
Yeah.
Oh, or
just-
all-
yeah.
The shoulders and
Yeah. Well, no, it's when he's like, "Who are you?" and she's just like,
Let's go. Yeah.
just like tosses herself on him. But
Well,
Speaking
limited
of the
time.
other-
Is that a male
She has
fantasy?
limited time. Yes.
is it?
I mean, it's certainly in my fantasies the
Yeah.
woman just throws herself at me.
Yeah.
it's the
Steven agrees.
Yeah.
the other Star Trek kisses is what I've been calling them. Is the grab the shoulder, force your face into their face. I mean, and they've done it in so many episodes that we've watched already. That this that's how it's got the term for me. But it's just like, what is this?
That's how you love someone hard.
It was very common. It was very common back then because they all ripped it off Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm sure it was in movies before the 60s.
So-
I'm sure, but
She's
it's still weird.
She's a queen, but
Yeah.
she has hardly any. I mean, power. It seems like because everyone talks.
Well, Ray
Rael.
was talking back to her, but then she's like, "Oh, I think I only like Kirk because he reminds me of Rael." And then there's never like any payoff to that. It's a throwaway comment. It's not like at the end she goes, "Oh, I've really loved you the whole time." No. It's just like, "I love you because you remind me of him, but you're way hotter." Is what she says.
Yeah.
Well, I
mean,
decided that Rael's not just sterile; he's also impotent, and that's what causes his rage. Is that-
Yes.
And that's why she's like, "I am ready to have sex right now," because
Oh,
that's
she
why
seemed very
like,
DTF.
Because if you're Rael and you're just like, "Well, I can't make you a baby, but this can still happen," it's going to be happening. There's only 5 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think
that's what I wasn't
I think
sure
they're
of.
impotent
Are
too.
there only 5?
I was going to say.
I thought they said they
We
were.
only so they said in the distress call there were only 5,
Yes.
and so that to me for a while, like halfway through the episode, I was thinking, oh, they were the last 5 to speed up. The rest of the race sped up first, and there's still a whole race together. But then the way they talked, it seemed like that 5 was like the invasion party, and there were more people on the planet. But I'm not sure of that.
I think it was just those 5 because I thought in her story she talked about it again how
a lot of people died.
the poison and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
they killed a lot of
yeah.
people, but I got the impression there were a lot more people down the planet.
'Cause
I could be wrong.
I think it was because they went from 900,000 to 5,
Right.
And that's why she's the one who's like,
Which 900,000 is a pretty small planet population.
I got to yeah.
I wrote a note about it at the beginning because it did point out it's sort of like they jumped right ahead to the explanation why you're only going to see 5 of us
Yeah.
instead of the whole planet of people. It's
Yeah.
like, well, there are only 5 of us left.
Yeah.
And
But
also-
Keith, there's no scientific explanation. As she said herself, even though McCoy kind of found a scientific explanation,
perhaps.
there's no scientific explanation.
No, but it also explains why she doesn't seem to have much power because
Yeah.
if you have 5 people and I'm the queen, it's like, okay, whatever. I mean,
So the captive, when she's in the room with Kirk, and she is laying it on thick, just like.
When she combs her hair?
No, this is before combing the hair
Okay.
because I took this note right before because I have the comb hair right after it, and I'm like, Kirk, I want Kirk to say like, I'm a captive audience. You don't need to. You don't need to
Yeah.
lay it on so
Yeah.
thick. We got it. Yes, you like me.
Bought and sold here. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. And then then the very next thing is she picks up a comb and like brush.
Four combs?
No,
Am I better now?
better. I'm like,
Where she looked exactly the same.
I'm like, you didn't do
But
anything.
then she was also, well, when they're accelerated time, she thought she did a lot more. But there's also the whole thing where Kirk's like all of a sudden brainwashed and she buys it?
Yeah.
Like, is that supposed to be a symptom that you can get brainwashed?
Well, the
Like,
other
oh,
guy,
I understand now. I love you now. Really?
I guess it's a stretch to believe.
It happened to the other guy.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, maybe that's the Scalosian women.
No, that
They
other
get
guy
you.
took like 3 months.
Uh,
And in Scalosian time. It was only a few minutes in Star Trek in Enterprise time, but
Well, once you go
magical-
Scalosian, you get brainwashed and you don't go back.
No, they have magical.
once you go Scalosian, you won't go back to the Telosian. That's the we were just talking about last week in Play the Stepchild.
Yeah.
We're like, there's gonna be more starships. I'm like, no, you just quarantine them like you
Right.
did in the cage. And this one, she's like, no, there won't be starships. You'll quarantine
That's
us.
right.
So I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Why did you forget that last
Done
week?
that last week.
Yes.
Until they see pictures of her, and then there will be starships. Not entire starships, just people in ships that travel in the stars. Just it'll be like one guy.
Like, hey, how are
Hey,
ya?
what's up? Accelerate me. I got nothing to live for.
So yeah, that was my magical hoo ha.
Yeah, I didn't even put that, in, but that makes sense.
It's like as soon as they do that,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah.
Because I thought the same as you, Jimmy, but your theory makes sense too, man.
Yeah.
That it could have been believable, but we knew he wasn't.
Other things that made no sense. When Uhura says Kirk just disappeared, and Spock's like, Sulu, is that how it happened?
Right.
And Sulu's like, yes, but Sulu's back was to him.
Yeah.
It's the penis phone thing.
Yeah.
He needed a guy to confirm it.
Can you confirm this for me, please? Yes, Sulu says yes. Okay, all right, we're good.
All right,
We're good.
Kirk disappeared instantly.
I also really bumped on that Deela said, I'll tell you anything you want to know, because I feel like at least 10 other characters in the last 2 seasons have said that to somebody at some point.
Yeah.
It's a very common thing. They get into these situations like, hey, don't worry, I'll tell you anything you want to know. But you won't really, because we're tricking you.
So, again, the faking of the mind control again, 2 episodes in a row is kind of...
Well, last episode it wasn't fake. They actually had mind control.
I know, but...
There was at least a brief time where it was part of a...
was
I mean, you've seen a lot of Star Trek. You haven't sat on the podcast a whole lot, but there are definitely things Star Trek repeats itself on over and over and over
Well,
and
this
over
was
and over and
2
over
in a
and
row,
over
which is
and
what I
over
was
and
like...
over. Well, Janice Rand was sexually assaulted 4 times in a row in the first season.
All the planets
4
they found that
episodes in a
were
row?
parallel to Earth.
4 episodes in a row in season 1. She was sexually assaulted.
That's...
We saw a godlike being how many episodes in a short span of
Oh,
time?
wow.
It was...
We saw parallel Earth a billion times in a short span of time.
Another thing that I didn't think makes sense, when he shot the phaser, shouldn't have still hit the wall?
Yeah, instead
Yes.
of just fading
Yeah,
out.
they don't just
Yes.
stop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, should have hit Uhura. Uhura was like...
Ouch! What was that? I'm stunned
He's
now.
vibrating so fast that it just shakes the beam into nothing before it gets to...
Kirk at this point said, I'll put it on stun, but it'll still not be a pleasant experience.
Right.
Which we don't really get in the rest of Star Trek. The rest of Star Trek, they're like, it's not that big a deal if we
Right.
stun you. And occasionally they'll say, oh, you'll wake up with a headache. Or in Star Trek First Contact, the film, they're like, oh, I woke up with dry mouth. But in general, like, oh, it's not that big a deal.
Well, he might have said that because she was a woman. That it might hurt.
Make her feel better.
Yeah. For you, this might hurt a little. He also said that in the later scene. But anyway.
Oh, I forgot to mention
Thank you
during,
for going along with me
during
on that.
fashion. But because we could see, well, we did it, but I forgot. Her dress, as hot as it was, if you looked, because we got this great detail on this 55-inch Blu-ray HD, the
front.
no,
The back.
Was it the back?
We never get to
The
see the
back?
back,
the
do we?
texture.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
The
do
texture of the material reminded me of like really rough plastic.
Yes,
that would be
it
super
did.
uncomfortable.
Very,
Plasticine.
Yes.
no, not plastic.
Like that
It was
plastic
like
bag, not like a grocery bag,
Yeah.
but like almost like a burlap sack but made out of plastic.
burlap.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It was very polyester-ish.
Yeah, it
I
did
was
not
like-
look comfortable.
I kept wanting
at
to
all.
keep, like, if they zoomed in on the sound, it'd be with the talking.
Yeah, they would have had to cut out all
On
the sound.
Scologian skin, that stuff feels great. It's like 100% cotton.
That's what the fly sound actually is.
We saw the back.
Just them walking.
The back was a cape,
Oh,
and so you couldn't see the
Couldn't see the
butthole that
butt.
was
That
hanging
makes
out.
sense.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And then they had one sleeve that was super poofy that like hung over.
So you could hide a weapon.
And then, but then she had a slit in it so she could have her
Yeah.
weapon there.
And then I like Kirk tries to steal the weapon. She's like, She's like, you know what? We're still going to do this. I'll take my chances.
And then later he does manage to swipe
Yeah,
it because
yeah.
she was
She
completely
believes he's
fooled.
brainwashed, yeah.
I also think they made a plot point of Rael told Kirk, "You killed that crewman,"
Yeah.
and that was like to mess with him. And then Kirk seemed totally unaffected and never came up
Didn't
again.
matter.
Like Kirk's like, okay, but now I'm gonna have sex with you. And
Because, yeah, it affects Deela more than it affects him. Because she's like,
Oh, way
you didn't
more.
need to do that.
Way more.
Yeah.
there was a very nice zoom in at the very end when Uhura put up the distress call again, and she's like, "Oh, malfunction." He's like, "Oh, it's no malfunction," and zoomed in on Deela for no reason
and-
because it didn't zoom in on her before.
Right. Well, and going back to some of the positive part of that, it wasn't a Edith Keeler kind of love or anything like that, but they genuinely liked each other.
Well,
And
they didn't use the soft filter.
I enjoyed the flirting myself. I liked their relationship. It wasn't a love of all kind, but it was definitely a, hey, we like each other, and obviously stuff's going to happen.
She seemed to me very innocent and doe-eyed whenever she was talking, and
Yeah.
I found that genuine and liked it.
I think and I, she had the few moments where I'm the queen, I have to handle this stuff, but
Yeah.
I feel like, when's the last time she got to actually...
Yeah.
And for Kirk, it's that same thing, because they go through the thing.
Well, she said, "I'm innocent. You're innocent."
Right. Well,
Blah, blah, blah.
and they get into the, well, are you married? No. To my
to the
ship.
ship.
And she's like, okay, well, all
I think he
right.
actually said his career, but
But it is
we
another
knew
one of
what he
those
meant.
where he's using his seductive things to whatever, get some information, but I think he also really liked her and enjoyed it, so...
It's like,
Speaking of
I like that.
Speaking of seductive relationships, and this was something I thought was good, was Kirk's going to the engineering to stop him, sees Spock in the hallway, no words exchanged.
No.
Yeah.
Immediately on the same page. They get there, they find... Now, it didn't quite work when Kirk went back in real time. It's like, oh yeah, Spock stayed behind to fix the ship, which was a great idea, but he never mentioned it. But it worked really well in taking down that he just saw him. He's like, oh, of course you've figured it out and you've joined me. Absolutely. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was really good.
As opposed to he goes by, Spock goes, wait, what are we doing?
Or Kirk's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I would have liked a little bit more surprise of like, can you see me or not?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I didn't want the surprise. I liked that there was no surprise.
Well, no, what I'm saying is it looked like Spock just like suddenly stood still. Like, how can you tell that Spock was actually moving at the
Well, I think
right
Spock
speed?
turned his head and looked at him.
Yeah.
And that was enough. That's all you need. That's all you
Just
need.
a look.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
the
shared
door
a
was
glance.
open so you couldn't talk because he would have heard. Rael would have heard you. But
She would have heard. Yeah.
no, because Rael was sitting there.
Rael.
But yeah, I think Kirk and Spock are on that kind of wavelength. Of course,
I think they
he
are,
showed
too.
up.
Yeah, makes sense.
At this point, 2.5 seasons in.
Even though there's never any idea of there being continuity of their time having passed.
I mean,
I'm teasing.
Yeah.
It's
I thought the computer was inconsistent early on. For whatever reason, they're asking her right away, like,
yes.
hey, what the hell's going on? I don't know. Data insufficient.
But you
And
can't do
then-
anything about it.
Are we being invaded? Yep. Everything else, like, I can't help you.
But I suggest you negotiate with these people you can't negotiate with because you can't talk to them.
Yeah. All right, thanks for another computer. You're welcome.
And Michelle was extra computery.
She was.
I marked that down. She was super computery with this one.
This is our second straight episode where they say the title of the episode.
Yes.
True.
And it was originally Blink of an Eye, and I can't remember why they changed it to Wink of an Eye.
I have no idea because
Maybe-
Blink of an Eye is the more common phrase.
Maybe it's because of she messed up the line, so they changed it.
I feel like a wink takes longer.
Doesn't
it?
Sir Hubert.
Because you gotta do the face.
Blink is actually.
You gotta
do the whole
you gotta
thing.
think about it. A blink, you don't.
Sir Hubert Blink is actually copyrighted the phrase. Blink of an Eye, so I've had to pay him.
So
Yeah, it's too bad in the Tholian Web they never said the Tholian
It's
Web.
a shame.
We've been 3 in a row.
It's a shame for Jerome Winkelston, though. He didn't.
That's a horrible.
He
name.
missed out on all that money.
That's a horrible name.
They Wild Wild West did the exact same episode of Accelerated People.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's the same. It was the same writer. He just wrote under a different screen name.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, what?
interesting.
Yeah, we haven't talked
Worked
about Ray
here,
directed
I
a
think
few
it was.
episodes.
Yeah, why not?
Big
Yeah.
ass face.
Yeah.
Yeah. let's
This
do
one
it.
was
That
written
makes
by
sense.
Arthur
It does.
Hickman, directed by Judd Taylor. We haven't talked about those.
Loosely based on a H.G. Wells short story called The
Oh,
New
yeah.
Accelerator.
He also sent a treatment to the Brady Bunch people, but they rejected it. But
like the Wild West lawyer episode we saw.
A 1966 Lone Ranger animated series also used this plot. It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus, guys.
This writer actually wrote 2 other Star Trek episodes,
oh,
both of which have not aired yet. The Way to Eat It and The Hippies,
oh boy.
which I feel like the outfit's probably somewhat similar, and then The Savage Curtain.
He should have been arrested and locked up.
Yeah. No, those aren't 3 episodes that are good.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Those are 3 filler episodes.
It
So-
says
Is he still alive?
I don't know. Are you saying we should
The
still
writer?
arrest him if
No.
he's alive? Like, in those crimes, there's no statute of limitations?
I can't decide if am I allowed to say bad things about him? I guess either way. It's
I
kind of
don't.
terrible.
He doesn't have enough information on his IABD
Okay.
to
All right.
say if he's.
Well, I guess I just said bad things about him.
It's fine.
I was going to point
The
out
director's dead though.
Oh,
Died
he's
10
nothing.
years ago.
about the titular line. Deela said it without giggling.
She's
Unlike
a true
Alexander.
actress.
Yeah, she was like,
You're right.
Alexander's one flaw.
totally in it.
This was the second of 5 episodes this director did. So
Oh, okay.
season 5 director for the most part, other than the Paradise Syndrome.
I actually liked the whole backstory she gave about what happened to the planet. I like the detail and everything there.
I don't think it made sense.
It says the Star Trek customizable card game
Yeah, I have
features the wild card called the boot scene,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a famous
Yep.
suggested scene with Delia.
Yeah,
What
that's
happened?
it's one of my
Putting his
favorites.
boots on after he has
It's a
sex.
great edit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you'd come back and she's brushing her hair and he's putting his boots on. So
Oh, I don't remember that in the card game. I'll have to look.
I don't remember the card
I
game.
have the card game.
It
Yeah.
says it will neutralize the opposing player's Captain Kirk with a beautiful alien.
I mean, yes.
The first time I saw this, I was before I knew enough about what was going on in the world. The second time, I was like, oh, something happened here. And I've loved that scene ever since. It's just what I like when it's like, all right, you can't show this. How are you going to get this across? Like, we got
Put
this.
his boots back
And yeah, so I love that I love that cut, that scene, that way to handle it.
Did you do your alternate episode yet?
I did not. Mine's
You are
Probably the
kidnapped by
same.
Dila.
pretty much. It's Kirk stays accelerated. He's like, screw it, I'm staying. Go back. I'm going to take my chances with
This is why
Diane.
Kirk's a hero and we aren't.
That's right.
Because we would stay.
I have a similar alternate episode
Yeah.
in which the crew just never figures it out, and they just go, "No, those blasted space flies," and they just move on.
Or I guess better yet, I mean, if they could have slowed her down, he could have taken her.
I mean, they
back.
could have because he got the potion.
Then she
That's the
would've-
thing. Like, why? Like, oh, we'll put you to suspended animation. No, we've got the cure. You guys just take this cure.
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
if they they could have just done that.
That's why that was, I was like, what?
Your thing on space flies, though,
Yeah.
Keith, it would have been really funny if McCoy like killed a fly in sickbay, and then Spock starts to tell the explanation. He's like, "Oh crap! Did I just swat Kirk?"
God.
What happened to the other three explosions?
They beamed him down.
They beamed him down.
Oh, were they ahead of those
Yeah.
two?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We saw them beam down.
Okay.
My alternate ending would be what Scotty's doing. that whole time. You're just like, well. Yeah.
I mean, it was easy for them to go in and out of the transfer room because he was holding the door open for them.
Yeah.
God, I was.
The one scene we rewound a bit, just briefly, with Scotty in the door was because I thought I saw the door open when I didn't. The door was open the whole time.
I thought that the episode might. I mean, if they'd done this in modern day, or maybe even like a series or two down the line, they probably would have done better with the maybe cutting back and forth between regular time and maybe you'll see something like this phaser blast just hit the wall for some reason out of nowhere. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Well, and I think
cut
then
it.
we would have had Kirk like pulling on his boots, but they mentioned, oh, we've been sleeping together for a month.
Right. And like they talked about the medical supplies being all moved around. We would have actually seen it instead of hearing about it going on off screen.
Well, why'd they have to move them around just to look at them? And why'd they even need the medical supplies? There was no mention of why they would need medical supplies.
To prevent deterioration.
That's not what they didn't talk about that.
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what explosions.
Okay, whatever.
I can't remember if it was Kirk or Spock or McCoy said just like Compton, and it just made me think it was the failed NWA comeback.
Oh my
Just
God.
like Compton.
Compton, played by Jeffrey Binney, which is definitely a white name. Jeffrey was spelled Geo.
Oh, well, there you
go. Best known for Battlestar Galactica. The
70s
original version.
The 70s version.
Credited as Second Warrior.
Oh, man.
This was what he was second best known for.
Oh.
Well, the last thing I have is I appreciated the half-hearted attempt to get into like translation issues, maybe of how the translator worked. So it's like, or as you humans say, a malfunction.
Yeah, all the aliens always speak perfect English.
Yeah.
That's just the thing.
Common.
Well, it's like when you travel anywhere in the world today, everybody speaks English. It's now convened in the whole galaxy.
Yeah.
Or as in D&D, they call it common.
Common tongue.
Yeah. Everyone speaks the common.
I think in Star Trek they call it universal or whatever.
I was reading a full length from AdLab, and the person it ended up being on another planet, but it started off with the idea it was purgatory or limbo or whatever. And they kept saying human, and the person was like, English human. They speak English human. They don't speak human. But they were just like, not every human speaks English, but yeah, it was a similar thought you were saying. But
Need Shane to do that line for me.
Any other notes?
that's all I got.
All I got.
Let's rank this episode. First, men, women of Trek. I call, before you say anything, Steven, I call Dila. Dila.
I think I'm going to stay with Barbara Babcock. Much as I love Dila.
I mean, I looked at you halfway through the episode and you said you were switching.
I did
You did. You lied?
I had second
Or
thoughts.
maybe you were just agreeing with me because I said it.
I had probably been brainwashed and then it wore off. Just like with Kirk.
Yeah.
And I returned to Barbara Babcock.
No, I think what Dila did to Kirk is something I've wanted to happen to me forever. Of course, I like those aggressive
Put
women.
your boots on.
Keith, you have Phalanges,
Yeah.
whatever her name was.
Probably staying with that.
Marianne, you...
Staying with Alexander.
Well, I don't blame you. Ranking the episode, so definitely better than any other episode this season. No, I'm just kidding. Let's start with what I think is comparable in quality, Spectre of the Gun.
Is Spectre the Gun, where is that?
A third from the bottom.
Okay. That sounds
Can
about
you
right.
give me a?
Yeah, I don't remember what any of
brief
these
The
are.
That's
Western.
the Western.
OK
Oh,
Corral.
Yeah, that's what we watch is above that.
You think so?
I agree with Marianne.
I don't know. They were both equally awful on their consistency of story.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
Dila was a better character than anything in Spectre of the Gun, but I felt like this one depended more on the science of what was happening.
Yeah.
And the science of what was happening was completely absent. So that's where this, for me, fell apart. It just didn't make sense as a story. But if you guys want to tell me it's better than Spectre, I'll...
I say it's better than Spectre.
Yeah, I don't like Spectre of the Gun.
Oh, I hate Spectre of the Gun. I think this is worse. Or, I don't hate it. I don't like it at all.
That's fair.
Keith, you want to be our type?
I'm gonna. This really wasn't that good, so I'm gonna say 6.
No, you think it's better or worse than Spectre of the Gun?
I don't even remember Spectre of the Gun right now.
The Western. OK
What
Corral,
was-
Wyatt, Kirk, check off
Yeah.
that. Oh, man.
We had these Western sets left
Right.
over, so we're gonna do it.
Oh God, this was probably. I think this was better than Spectre of the Gun.
Okay, then I'll vote on there. Next one up is Paradise Syndrome. Kirk gets brainwashed and becomes an
it's a
Indian.
similar.
Oh no, this one was definitely better than that.
Didn't it-
I disagree because
really?
that one at least was coherent in its
Oh,
story.
I didn't like the brown face.
Oh, I hated that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that right. Yes.
I hated that, but I thought the story made a heck of a lot more sense.
What was even going on?
It's
There's-
Kirk
that-
falls into the temple. He
Right.
thinks he's a god, Karak, and it's another one of
actually,
those.
his memory. And
Correct.
everything.
Yeah, it's a native. It's a planet where they're very similar to the Native Americans.
Yeah. So what do you think,
Ugh.
I'm okay with being outnumbered if you
That-
just think it's.
Steven? What do you think?
That frustrates me so much. Those kinds of things. So I mean, the problem again. The science.
Man,
The science is so.
The science is so bad in this one.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
what, for me, I would have put this even lower. I would have put it below Spectre of the Gun just because of the science. As much as I like Dila. But I got outvoted there. We're talking about the Paradise Syndrome.
man.
I mean, I think I would have put it above In the Children Shall Lead because that was really bad. That was the one below Spectre of the Gun.
The Paradise
Yeah,
Syndrome was richer and probably more consistent. So
That's what
there was
I'm
that.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Not by much. It's still a bad episode.
Yeah.
There's huge swaths of both episodes that are just not interesting.
Sure.
I hate the parallel planets.
Yeah, me too. This one didn't do that.
No, I like Dila.
I would say that the idea behind Wink of an Eye was better, or at least
Idea, but
was
the
more-
execution
yeah,
was so much worse.
I like the truth in that moment. I think I said that when we did that episode. That I like Kirk's reaction at the end of that episode. It seems legitimate.
This on IMDb, this episode, The Wink of an Eye, is actually rated a 7.4, which is even with Spectre of the Gun.
Wow.
Is There in Truth No Beauty is below that, and that's our number one so far. It was only a
That's
7.1.
ridiculous.
I know, right? Children Shall Lead was
Discounts everything.
5.2, which, yeah. Paradise Syndrome is 6.9, so this is ranked above Paradise Syndrome on there, but we already proved that scale's flawed.
Man, I could go either way. I'm trying to decide on what.
The parallel
I mean-
universe, the brown face,
If you
all of
could
that
go-
stuff
I don't
just
know.
really bothers me.
Oh, me
so
too.
that's
I don't
why
like-
I.
yeah, I don't like
Me
those
too,
either.
but I don't know. So Keith, did you vote below?
I'm
Paradise?
gonna have to go above.
You're
It's
voting
just-
above. I'm voting below. Marianne's voting above, and Steven's not sure. So I guess
I could-
above wins.
I could see myself.
I get to just abstain.
Foley and Webb.
Huh.
Oh.
The hell even-
Come on, you guys are not going to rate this above Foley and Webb.
I don't think it is. I think.
I mean, not that Foley and Webb was good, but
Like what even happened in?
But I've heard-
as far I know.
Tholian and Webb.
They made a
Kirk
web.
disappears.
Well, I know the web happened, but like,
There's
what
an
did they do to?
Kirk disappears. They.
he's in the mirror universe
Oh,
apparently.
okay, right.
Apparently.
He got. I'm putting that one Tholian and Webb above this one
Yeah.
only because the mirror universe is in other episodes. So we kind of.
It's
They don't
Yeah.
establish in Foley and Webb that's mirror universe. That was retconning from Enterprise and Discovery.
That's
yeah.
because of that.
yeah. That's,
So we're putting Wink of an Eye at number 7. At number 7. I would have had it at number 10.
Tholian Webb is 6.
Yes.
And
So
then-
far this season.
But we're gonna
I
get
hate
other
it.
things.
7.
But we're gonna get other things that will be above it. Hopefully.
Oh, well, we're
we
in
get a
season
couple.
3. The Empath is next.
Which
That's what
I
I'm
have
excited for.
fond memories.
Yeah, I think that one's better.
Yeah.
Trapped in an alien laboratory, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy meet an empath and are involved in a series of experiments. The empath is Jem, played by Catherine Hayes.
Yeah.
And this was, I think I told Steven, this along with Is There a Truth, No Beauty were one of the two that like I saw first.
Yeah.
And I guess that partly colors it, but I remember liking the empath.
Yeah. Me.
So next week, cheers for the empath. And until then, live long and prosper at normal speeds.
Oh, Keith.
It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?